Alright, this is the lore sharer. I haven't made video in a while, because hey, I've moved, so now I can actually go ahead and do things without feeling like I'm bothering everybody. On top of that, just before that, I got a new job, so I haven't really had a good chance to sit down and make any videos. Do plan on finishing off the portal run and uh, well, soon. Um, I had a few other reviews that I wanted to do, but this is our first proper use of the channel. Um, Today, let's talk about Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, who you may recognize that name as the author of The Martian. Um, he also released another book a few years back called Artemis or something along those lines, um, which probably something to do with the moon, uh, just based off of the mythology I know. But I was gonna read that. Don't think I ever put aside time to do that, so whatever. Anyway, Project Hail Mary. Um, is very good. I was very happy yesterday or the day before when I sat down to read it, and pleasantly surprised. Well, maybe not surprised, but I enjoyed it a lot. So, what's it about? Project Hail Mary, um, let's just call it Hail Mary for short because that's the important part of it. Um, Basically, we've got an astronaut, he's in a spaceship called the Hail Mary, and he doesn't remember any of what he's doing. All he remembers as time goes on, uh, he begins to get his memories back, and he remembers, hey, the sun's growing dimmer, so he's been sent out to another star to figure out why that star in particular isn't going dim. Sort of spoilers. Um, anyway, little bit in, they blah 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 blah, things happen, and we get to aliens. Uh, find out about alien life, and that's sort of interesting. Uh, we end up learning about the astrophage, which it turns out is what's making the sun go dim. And that's what the entire uh, book is based around. The idea that this far off system has some way of canceling out astrophage, which it seems to be some sort of infection. So, things happen, world governments actually decide to get shit done, and that's pretty fun. Um, they end up building a massive space program between basically all the world governments to pool resources and try and make sure that the Earth's not completely frozen in a giant block of ice by the time, uh, well, by the time things go bad. So, you've got a bunch of fun space things like relativity and blah 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 blah. Trying very hard not to spoil things. So, I guess I should go around into talking about why I like the book. Well, one, it's sciencey and it's space. I fucking love the hell out of sci-fi books. And this one definitely delivers. We get fun stuff in other stars. It's an interstellar show, book, which is always a welcome thing. Um, Shown by Rodina, and I don't think I've uploaded any of Elite Dangerous on here. Probably not. But anyway, yeah, so they go to the star and they try to do science, and other wacky fun things happen, and then story continues, we learn more things about the astrophage because that's what the book's about. We also tend to learn more about what all happened beforehand. The amnesia begins to come undone. Um, so we get to learn a bunch of fun stuff. Um, the only, I guess, complaint about this book is that there's no like proper climax. Like I know where the climax is supposed to be, um, but it's not very like, yeah, there's high tension, but it's not like The Martian where it's like, oh, we have to save him. Um, Instead, it's more of like a, okay, there's a problem here. We've already dealt with it once. So, although this time it is much, much worse, um, because there are actual repercussions behind this problem, instead it's become a, okay, we know how to deal with this. Now we've just lost a few options, which they had enough backup for just in case. Um, and so after that, we end up losing those options, which means we have to make a choice. Um, and I mean, basically, if you read the book, it's pretty obvious what you're gonna end up doing. Um, so it's not really surprise ending. Um, no real curveballs in it. It's a pretty straightforward book. Um, but the world building was incredibly fun. The uh, science science bullshit, what makes it sci-fi, was incredibly fun. Um, we basically get to see two entire world building events. Maybe not events, but two locations that we have to world build. Um, which is it's very fun. Um, there's a few. There's one other big thing in the book which I thought was a really nice touch. Um, it's a pretty major part of the book. In fact, it's how they get through a lot of the problems. Um, but I can't really go into it, or else it will be a major spoiler. Because of that problem, we end up seeing all like the main. Here's the fuck up. And here's the solution. So I'm not gonna go into that, but incredibly fun. I really recommend this book. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm gonna rate these. Maybe with like stars. So probably about 4 stars. It's not like the greatest thing ever. Um, Mostly, like I said, because there's not much actual tension. Um, but in a lot of books, there's not really a lot of tension anyway, because you know it's a book, it's made to make you feel happy. Um, so you can generally be like, okay, cool, it's the main character, I know they're gonna get out of it, because fuck it, why would you get rid of your main character? Which there are a few books that go against that, but this isn't really one of those. So instead, you've got a nice clean book. It's got a nice ending. There's a little bit of openness on the end, which I particularly like. I like my books to leave a little bit of space for thought, um, which this one gives you a little bit at the end. They give you a hint as to which direction it's going to go afterwards, but all in all, it's a nice, clean ending to its own. It's not going to have any sequels. Um, or at least I hope not. Um, that would just feel like a cash grab. But yeah, incredibly good book. Definitely lives up to the standards of Andy Weir. No problems with it. So, 4 out of 5 stars.